And the minutes, I have one adjustment to the minutes. We did not dismiss paragraph 2. Scott Grubbs, I reached out to him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we just thought we needed to do that, so I reached out to him.
All right, so get rid of that last sentence.
Yeah. The last one, was it, I don't know that we fully dismissed that either. We don't really have an answer at this point, but we didn't fully dismiss it. It is out of our jurisdiction.
Jurisdiction, leave it like that,
We were just
period,
gonna-
right after jurisdiction.
Yeah,
Get rid of the and dismissed. Okay?
yeah.
So I did look up, what I did do is I looked up the Chinese mantis
Oh.
egg sacs as opposed to like the Carolina mantis, and I think they're right, I think they are Chinese mantis. That being said, a lot of people sell them, it's probably not the right thing to do, but you can just buy them online, even though they're technically listed as invasive. I think maybe the best thing to do is to just put her in touch with APHIS, the Animal Plant and Health Inspection. I think that's the only thing we can do, because it's nothing that we can stop. We can't
Yeah,
stop
I mean,
people
it's
from
out of our
selling stuff.
jurisdiction, right.
Yeah,
Oh, but that's kind of interesting, yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
So I did, the day after I looked them up, and I think whoever was complaining is correct. I think they are Chinese, but
it's not our yeah, just like send her a note and just say, you know what, I, looked into this and you're right, but it's not our job.
right.
And we don't even have, we have no authority here. All right, anything else on the minutes? And if not, can I have a motion
Make a motion to accept the minutes of May 10th
with modifications?
with corrections, modifications.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Well, since you guys are here and it's not a hearing, let's just,
Thank you.
Let's just
This
have-
informal discussion.
yeah, it's an informal discussion. So if you would
Present it.
present it.
We have an extra copy too, so in case of, this is one on the screen. but
Or I'll
that.
see this easier to follow along.
Yeah.
I know you're already looking at it, but that's. Where is this? Okay.
Okay, great.
Cummins Pond
So,
Road,
we could.
Cemetery
how long have we been working on
Road.
this? Probably
I don't even know where
5
Cemetery Road is.
Last-
Oh, you know what? This is behind. This is the fountain fuel. pit.
All right, so this is Cemetery Road, it's a dead end, well, it dead ends into the cemetery, if you're familiar, it goes over that perennial stream. Mr. Paquette asked me to take a look at it, and DC Engineering out of Charlton, that they did the plan. It's a degraded riverfront area under 1058-5.
It's a perennial stream?
It is, we ran stream stat, it
Oh,
does
you
show
did?
up as perennial on the USGS map, and we ran it, and it
Oh,
does.
see, I have the USGS map and it wasn't showing up as perennial. Did I get that right? Oh, never mind, sorry, I was looking at something else too.
Yeah, we scrutinize this pretty heavily to
found
make
this
sure
here.
that, because we would like
This
it
goes
not to be
behind it.
perennial, because then we would
Pine Grove
get
Cemetery
around
is
this
up here.
problem, and not problem, but
Marshburn,
issue
right
of
here.
1058-5.
Thank
We'll
you. Oh, this is
present,
a
I'll
draft.
send you stream stat
This is
and,
proposed, yeah.
in
Oh,
the
this is what
USGS
they're proposing.
audit, again, from the most recent USGS maps. They do show
Yeah.
this perennial.
It shows up as a wetland feature, but it's not showing up as a,
I'll follow up with you on that.
or maybe I'm not. Okay, yeah, that would be good.
We will. So, it comes from that, your drinking water reservoir up above.
Cummins
as you
Pond,
know.
yeah?
And there's over half a square mile drainage area contributing, and and it's at .01 at the 99 percentile under stream stat. I didn't bring that part of the document, but
Yeah, that's okay.
we'll present it, that it does make it to the criteria of perennial. So, under riverfront area regulation under 1058-5, redevelopment within a previously developed riverfront area, it has been a gravel pit prior to 96, August, so, and the lot is pre-existing, so we're 83, so we had deeds from 72, we're proposing to do is develop a housing project, and you see some of it in the gravel pit.
Yeah?
And instead of running down Cemetery Road all the way to where the entrance is, if
Right.
you see it, we would like to cut directly through. And our proposal was to restore the Cemetery Road if we could get the support of DPW, Conservation Commission, and the Selectmen. If it became abandoned, then we would also restore that, because there's asphalt underneath the layer of sand. That then gives us 2-to-1. You have to restore twice as much riverfront area than what you get back. So our numbers, and off the top, 2,600 we gain if we restored that and put it back into a forested area, which is within 100 feet of the riverfront area. So the crucial area for riverfront is the first 100. Of course, you protect both the 200, but under regs, 100 feet, work to restore that if possible, and then work, and if there's any work, it would be in the 200. We are restoring 1-to-1 on-site presently, so the reason why we're not using the other part, these are degraded riverfront flags. I would like to ask for a site inspection with the commission if you have the time. We can see that this is the edge of the gravel pit, which shows up on this, in this photograph, just to give you a quick idea of what it looks like presently from the air.
Okay,
Thank
do
you.
you want me to pull up
This is
Google
all
Maps?
overgrown.
You can, but this is what.
Was this his
This is
old
the same.
gravel pit?
It- Yeah,
One of
Okay,
them.
so that gives
One
you
of
that.
them, but I mean, this is a
This is
cemetery.
currently, yeah. The cemetery's up here on the hill.
and I
Washburn
think
Ave is
I
down
do
here.
have,
Yeah.
well, I'm just doing this because we have, that's Mass Mapper. Oh, I was looking on my phone, that's
Yeah,
why.
the
What
back
do we call
entrance to
it?
the cemetery, you can get into the cemetery way
Cummins
down here.
Pond Road.
There's a gate back there
Yeah.
unused.
Yeah.
So this is an existing lot already?
Yes, it is.
I mean,
Yeah,
it's,
it is existing, and it's, but Mr. Paquette's father had been using it over the years for gravel removal. Correct. It's still ongoing, not vegetated. I flagged the limit of the loom. So there's areas where he did push loom and kept it to the side and to the back. And if it has a topsoil, then it's not called degraded. It has to be absence of topsoil, whether it's a building, asphalt, abandoned dumping grounds, areas absence of topsoil, such as the asphalt and such. Those are called degraded under the regulation. So,
So this is a wetland right here?
no, this is the wetland right here. Here's the brook.
It's
There's,
just alongside the brook, right?
Well,
If you're going
you
in
have wet-
cemetery, it's on the left-hand side is the brook, and this area is within 200. What's showing up on this mapping,
yeah, but you have some wetland flags right on the edge?
no, those are degraded riverfront area flags. So these flags, if I can,
Yeah, go for it.
this is the edge of degraded riverfront area. This. These are mean.
Oh, I see.
So-
I didn't see, because
Yeah.
it just said that little symbol was wetland flag.
Well,
On the
if that's,
plan.
if that's incorrect, it should say degraded riverfront area, but if by 2 minutes found.
So I was just looking at that little, I did a
Yeah.
quick little look, and
Well,
so,
there's some more work to be done. We'll clear up that this is the edge of degraded, and if we go to in the field, we're gonna see that this is the edge of the pit.
Okay,
That doesn't
yeah.
have vegetation, it doesn't have topsoil. So what happened here is, when they stripped it, I work with many gravel operators, on Powell Stone and Gravel out of Ludlow. I just did the MBTA freight terminal up in Westminster with those people, but Hilka Gravel, Scavone Gravel, Kesley and Moss, different gravel pits, and also abandoned ones. So what they did was push the loom here. So this is a ridge of loom. This is loom over in here. That's why you're gonna see these piles. Those are loom piles, and there's vegetation on them. So I can't call them degraded because it has loom.
Sure.
So even though it was part of the pit, we might look at that, and maybe you have a different thought on it, but also there's some piles along there. And so, again, I flagged the edge of the degraded riverfront area within 200. Here's the 200-foot line. Here's the mean annual high water. If we scale it off, and I did bring my ruler, that gives you the 200. The other line in here should give us, here it is, 100-foot riparian. So there's 100-foot riparian, 200-foot riparian. And the 100-foot buffer zone is going to be, if he did put it on here, would be a distinct, and this would generally run directly up gradient of the mean annual high water. Obviously, you have the river, and then there's a little strip of wetland associated with it. So we'll talk to Jay if there's any, there it is, 100-foot buffer zone. And we'll have to talk to Jay, because That would be correct, because there's the riverfront below it, and the BVW should be above it, because generally is the river, there's a little strip of, so you have a BVW with 100 feet further inland than you would have the median or high water, which should be downgraded, whether it be, depends on how wide the wetland is. So we have a 100-foot buffer zone, a 100-foot riverfront area, 200-foot riverfront area, degraded riverfront area on the plan.
Yeah,
Where we have an abandoned dump ground, we have to restore 1-to-1, so we're gonna restore, this will be planted, this will be all restored with loam, topsoil, planted with native, there's red oak up there, white pine at some density of maybe at every 10 feet or 10-foot or 15-foot spacing, seed it, get it, okay, now it turns back into a riverfront area forested and not degraded. If we do the same thing with the roadway, then that's off-site restoration, and that's, you have to give them two, so if there was 6,000 square feet of degraded, I'm just giving a number, it's on the plan, 6,000 square feet of degraded riverfront area, you would have to restore 4,000 square feet, and you could get 2,000 as usable riverfront area to work within the site. So we took both off-site, if we had Cemetery Road and the town didn't need it. And there was some discussion with DPW. He wasn't, he said, well, maybe I can use this and buy this and put my DPW. Let me ask my client to just give a brief on what the DPW said.
Yeah, Jeremy said that it might affect his funding, his state funding, he gets X amount per road.
Per linear foot, you get.
oh, right, right.
But
And then maybe he wanted, well, that'd be a good place for DPW or something, or some
it's
state
to
or
dump,
something.
yeah, to
Something
dump
like-
stuff.
To dump
Yeah,
stuff or
yeah.
something. But,
But wait a minute, that's not his land to dump stuff.
Well, it's considered a
no,
road.
he said if he bought it, if the town got it, then maybe he'd do that.
Town isn't gonna buy
So
it.
we're not gonna buy that maybe, in the roadway, there is money per linear feet of each town. I work with my DPW director out of
Is
Oxford,
this used? Is
Diboll.
this town
But
maintained
we're
now?
talking a very
No.
limited linear
I
feet
mean, it's
of
owned by the
road.
town, but I wouldn't call it maintained.
So,
How, does anybody get to the cemetery from
No,
back there
No,
anymore?
No.
there's a gate that's closed.
Oh, there is,
and as
okay.
far
Is
as
this
fire
considered
department, we
road?
looked at all those things that the fire department, why I would need to get from there to some, unfortunately, there's only dead people except for the visitors in the cemetery. So we're not normally
Is
putting
this,
out
is
anything,
this
there's no
used, is this
structure, you
road
can
for
come
the
in from
town?
multiple
This-
places.
Is this
Yeah.
county
So
as town
we've
road,
worked
even
with
though they don't
planning
use it?
boards
It's a town
and
road, but yeah.
conservation in the past
How
to
far
maybe
up to the
support,
gate?
if you thought that the riverfront area, the first 100 feet, which is the more critical area, I just left BSC this morning at 8 o'clock in Spencer on one for the town. And if we read the reg, the first 100 feet, again, as I said a minute ago, is more crucial because it's right up against the river, and then there's the next 200, the next 100, all of it's riverfront, all of it's regulated. But if we got to restore, it does help us if we restore. We only
Yeah.
gain 2,600 square feet, it's a small amount. But if the commission supported us restoring that inner riparian zone, and that letter, and that's why we're here also, that letter might go to selectmen or DPW for a consideration that that road could be abandoned. If it isn't, our project doesn't affect us much, a small amount. As you can see presently, what we're showing on here, he still has some gravel removal outside the riverfront area. This is the end of the 200, that's why I started my flags, just a gradient of it. So, that's outside of your jurisdiction. And he has a couple of structures up there. We do have detention. We asked, the detention, if that's a prime place to put the detention, it can go in the riverfront area, and it doesn't come, stormwater detention.
Oh, detention pond.
Stormwater, this would be stormwater.
And you would do that here?
This
Where?
Right here. That
Oh, I
symbol
see.
is stormwater.
I didn't see
There's still more work to be done on the plan, but we're here to ask if we choose to, for support in restoring the inner riparian zone. It makes a small difference on our project. We could, as I said, 2,600 square. You wanna look at the plan and actually tell them what the square footage is. Offsite restoration, it is 26, so allowable degraded riverfront area to remain 52,000 square feet, which would be our riverfront area that we own, let's see, total degraded riverfront area along roadway, 8,500 square feet. Do you see those maybe? Under riverfront area calculations in the upper right corner of the plan.
All right.
Degraded riverfront area within sight, 52,000 and then change, I'll just say change. So there's our two degraded riverfront areas. One the town owns 8,500, one we own 52,000, I'll leave the change off. And then allowable degraded riverfront area to remain. So out of the 52,000 square feet, under the regulation, you would have to restore half of that, and you could then get to continue to keep degraded the other half. That's why we're restoring the area to the, and there's our north arrow, so that generally this thing is a linear, so we would restore everything to the south
Yeah,
and keep degraded the area to the north. And then under, if we look at the second number, under the 28,000 square feet, which is the town's property, which is the roadway. Let's see, yeah, here we go. The 5,000 square, 50% of the 52,000 is 28,000. That would be used on site for buildings and roadway.
well,
And plus 2,600 square feet, which is the roadway, because that's 1/3 of 8,500. Again, you have to, if it's an off-site degraded riverfront area and you're restoring it, you have to restore 2 times more than you keep degraded. That's where the 2,800 comes in, compared to the 8,500.
oh, so you're looking for to use the road because it's an easy way, it's like,
They
it's an
want credit
easier-
for restoration of the road.
But you
That's what
guys
you're trying
just
to do.
wanna deal with the
Yeah.
restoration, it's just an
We're-
easier
we're
way to
trying-
get your numbers, gotcha,
We're
okay.
trying to, if we build the number up, so we end up having, yes, we get 2,600 square feet, 2,600 more square feet.
Yeah,
All right, so your proposal, let's get to that, is you're gonna remove the road,
The
whatever
asphalt.
asphalt's left in there, other than the entranceway.
Correct, sir.
And that's what
Put
you're
a
that's
loom
what
in.
you're basically asking us.
Right, we would put
Forward.
loam and we would plant that, just like we're gonna plant the rest of this gravel pit to the south.
Right,
So
well,
the
that's,
2 areas would be restored. You would have, if we're thinking in the conservation, and I know you are, because that's why you're here, conservation mode, again, that gets a continuous riverfront area all the way up to, well, in the area that we restore, the full 200 feet becomes restored on the southern end right through the roadway,
All right.
and we keep degraded that one per point.
so which,
So
this
is that-
whole
That's
area,
all would be restored.
this is all restored
so
over
that
here,
doesn't
and then you were.
affect their
going to
distance.
Restore the
restore-
roadway too. We would restore the roadway all from here to here. We would, be up all the way from here to the property line. This is actually roadways.
And when you say restore, you're gonna remove the
Remove
asphalt.
remove, put topsoil under the regulation, which we have. It's to, if there's 4 to 5 inches of topsoil, which there is generally in an undisturbed riverfront area in the woods, then then we have to put back what's, I'm trying to, here's the regulation
This
actually,
really
right here.
doesn't affect
So the regulation
their
calls
distance
for
from the stream or their building at all.
remove, that's debris, let's see, coverage by topsoil at a depth consistent with natural conditions at the site. So you would, if there's 4 to 5 inches of topsoil
Right.
in the woods.
And then what
we
about
would-
the vegetation?
That would be the indigenous species that are out there, which is pine and northern red oak, eastern white pine, northern red oak, herbaceous, there would be herbaceous growth, there would be the loam, obviously, and, because we already said that.
Right.
So you would restore it so that it grows back to a forested area.
Hmm.
And that's called restoration. We just did a solar farm where we did that recently for 2.5 megawatt. But we've restored riverfront areas for other reasons,
Do you know why they-
and that's it.
Yeah,
Is it
okay,
James
I
Bond's
mean,
wife? Isn't that his
conceptually,
building too?
Mhm.
it would work if
It's
you
a
had the
separate
road. So,
Even without the
I need
road,
that, right?
we can.
Apparently it's a
only
separate lot,
20
yeah.
We're only getting 2,600 square feet out of the road. It's a benefit to the environment, but it's a small benefit to us. But we initially went in with, the roadway is no value to the town, but it does actually to some linear feet of change that the federal government and
Mhm.
state government gives. So if the commission, what I would like to ask for is a site inspection with the board to take a look at it. And then from there, if we don't have support from the commission, and DPW has the final say, we just designed the project with the with the riverfront area that we can restore, which is on our property, the driveway stays, or the roadway stays going to the cemetery and unused, and our project becomes that. Again, 2,800 isn't gonna kill the project at all.
Right, you just
It
got,
just
you moved
means-
stuff back a bit.
We would, we might have one, it might affect one building, and that's it. So we were maxing out restoration, and that's why we brought the road in.
So in an ideal world, what you're looking for is kind of a letter from us to the selectmen that we're on board and we're behind transferring the
We have done this
road.
before
Yeah.
with conservations on, with planning boards and with
I
select.
think it's closing the road.
To
Yeah,
to
they
sell
have
the
to
road.
close the road, they would
Abandon it.
Abandon
the
it.
road.
And that has to
And
be
it's-
done at town
I think it might be
meeting.
called discontinue.
Discontinue.
I think it's discontinue, where you actually relinquish the roadway as no longer a roadway. But again, if it becomes a heartache for DPW and he has the ear of the selectmen, then it's not gonna happen. And then we're just with what we can restore on our site.
Sure.
Right.
And the road stays where it is, and we end up going straight in, and we're not gonna use, we wouldn't use the road for one reason. Why for us to build and upgrade this roadway to come all the way to the end, when we can cut right through this knob of
Well, you could
boom?
do that anyway.
Yeah, but then it becomes even more of an expense to upgrade that road, that extra linear feet. Why would we, so we wanna just go straight in from the road and avoid that.
Well, I would do that anyway, because then you are gonna go through the only place that you can do your replication,
Right.
right? So, I mean,
What,
I-
restoration,
the
right,
the
right.
restoration. So you can't have a
you
road
think-
go through the restoration, it has to go through here anyway, no
If
matter
this
which
is
way you do it.
Oh, correct, you're
Okay.
correct on that point.
If this
So,
is poorly
okay,
maintained now,
because you
Yeah.
are
they do
Glenn,
that, they're
and
gonna
you
have to.
move
go
rapid
into the-
fire, here
I
is,
think
I
so.
need you to
Seriously.
slow down
Somebody's
a
gonna have to
little
put
bit
money
for
I'm
me.
into
sorry.
that, that first trunk.
Da, da, da,
Be
da,
the
da.
town, I don't know
Forget
what's
about the
gonna be.
roadway,
But,
degraded
I mean, that
riverfront
bridge is
area,
probably
that
rough, and this
whole
corner is
thing,
real
this
rough.
whole thing that's degraded
Yes,
Not on top.
Yeah,
is
I was gonna say that.
52,154 square
Hasn't been
feet.
used, who
that's
knows what's
correct,
under there.
that's correct, it's right here, if you were, just for the heck of it,
Should
knowing.
bring that
And
up.
then the allowable riverfront
bring it
area
up.
to remain, okay, let's
Is there
just,
access to this property from Washburn?
Joyce.
it's 26,
No.
I've seen,
No.
I've seen.
Like a
Yeah.
walking
I'm just-
trail.
It's a walking
have-
trail?
Yeah.
It used to
Very-
connect, but I didn't remember how much it used to
I'm just
connect.
trying to
It just looks-
understand,
it looks rough now.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
what, this is only half, so you're just saying that the regulations claim,
That's a
you know,
condition of
I've
that
never
road.
dealt with
Going in,
upgrading, usually it's
Going
a
in,
one-to-one
it's in
restoration, not a
decent
two-to-one.
shape
Well,
Until,
2-to-1
until the
off-site,
bend.
1-to-one
Hmm.
on-site.
like where we wanna go
fine.
straight in,
It's,
it's all right.
if you
How about the
restore
culvert?
riverfront area
The
off-site,
culvert
you have
looks
to
pretty good.
leave,
It's
What
a
do you mean
6-foot
off-site?
steel
the
culvert,
roadway is off-site.
concrete
Because
all
we don't know.
around.
because you know
We don't
that's
know
gonna be
that.
the
Oh, okay,
question.
I'm not,
How much
Yeah.
money they
forget
have to
about the
put in to
roadway, I'm
bring this
assuming that's
up
not gonna happen.
to
Okay.
usable.
I'm just, right now, I'm gonna,
30
I want this scenario,
parking
that doesn't
spots.
happen.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's gonna get some traffic.
The
That's gonna be
restoration
the issue.
on-site,
Yeah.
More
Getting
than,
the trucks in there,
one-to-one.
although you've had
Right,
trucks
that's-
over
Well,
there
that's
for
the thing,
decades.
It's one to
it's
one.
been operational.
but
up
since
until
it's
a few years
previously
ago, it's been
degraded, do you
gravel.
even have to do a
Right.
the trucks are
restoration?
going
Yes,
in and
the
out,
regulations.
it's just the blacktop
Yeah,
And
it
other-
calls for, right,
any other
Yeah.
expenses, that's gonna be
That's
the
right.
issue, that's where they're gonna raise.
Yeah, yeah, so.
Which part of?
It's gonna
It's
be,
1058.
apartments, or are they gonna be like
1055.
individual condos? It says three-family building.
Yeah, they're,
I have to read it.
they're
Here's
townhouse
the
style.
2-to-1 off-site,
Yeah,
right
rentals.
here,
Okay,
Yeah.
and
Are
above
they- are they
it,
gonna
you're
be
gonna find the
condos, or are they gonna be-
Rental.
There'll be
Like,
rental
yes.
units, you'll have that many rental units.
Yeah.
Low
rental
income?
units is hot.
That's not the plan as of now.
Perfect.
I mean, I'm just thinking,
Yeah.
housing,
We just did
Yeah,
a
and
major
we're-
one for
and
commercial
this-
over in Sturbridge on this, this
Very,
regulated.
very beginning
Okay,
stages.
so, but
you
here's
know.
the thing, I'm gonna just throw
that's
this
not
at
gonna be
you
a
again.
requirement from the state or anything?
Can I just,
No,
Okay.
you
I
can't.
need to,
Okay,
like,
Joyce, go ahead.
the riverfront is like, you know, it's a drudge to get through.
It is.
So this is what my understanding is, this is previously degraded before 1996.
That's correct.
Right.
Right.
So you're allowed to do the work in here, and then the restoration
It's
is,
actually in there. I actually worked for the 5 years before. I was with the commission, with National Audubon and other hearings, all the way till, it took 5 years to pass Riverfront Reg in '96. I was there, I actually
oh, okay,
permitted.
here we go.
So there you go with the one-to-one, it's right there. So there was many renditions. The first year it got shot down, no, it couldn't get legislature. The second year, the third year, the fourth year, the fifth year, Riverfront got passed. So the builders, and that's why I deal with the historical mill sites too, right at the end of this road at 148 and 20, across the street, that 9 Holland, I just finished that site, in Sturbridge. So, all these renditions came up like, what's the incentive of the developers to go, because it was developers and environmental people working on the regulation to finally get an agreement that went to the legislature that actually passed it in '96, in August. And one of them was if you have something degraded, what's the incentive to anybody to restore this thing so that we have riverfront back? So the incentive was, okay, we'll let you restore as close to the river as you can, and but we're gonna give you part of that riverfront area, that other one. But if you're gonna do it off-site, we're not gonna give you as much. So you're gonna have to restore twice as much as what you get back. And the same thing with historical mill sites, because people thought, why is a historical mill site totally exempt from riverfront reg? Because of all the people that went into play in these mill towns, and developers and realty groups, I don't care who was involved, but everybody was involved to finally get the final product that was passed. And they were all saying, we're right on the river with the mill. It was used for water power. If it's the mill and the driveways around the mill and the settling ponds, and it was used for water power, we're not gonna take it away from you at all. There's where 1058-6 comes in, which is grandfathered. If it was pre-existing riverfront area and the mill still stood, was functional in 1945 and still standing in August of '96, and was used for water power, where you have exemption, only exemption for what part of that property. I'm doing one right now where if there was a part of the woods that was never touched, but part of that property was the mill site with the driveways I got one in Chapel Street in Leicester, was supposed to be the hearing tonight, but somebody passed away in a town, we didn't have that, and I had to come here anyways. But the point is, that if you have a mill site, and you're only using where the buildings, the parking, and the driveways were, that's exempt, because that was part of the negotiations to get the law passed. You're gonna tell me that because I'm right up against the river with this mill, that I have to now comply with riverfront law? No, there was too much opposition to that, and that's why historical mill sites under 1058-6 are exempt, but only the
they have
part of
to
the
be,
mill
right.
site that was used. Same thing with degraded riverfront area, 1058-5. If it was degraded, a dump, or it's abandoned dump.
But it
ground.
just say, proposed work including expansion of existing structure shall be located outside the riverfront area.
To the max,
Or towards the riverfront area
outside.
boundary and away from the river, except in accordance with 310 CMR, 1058F, or G.
Yeah. We looked at, we deal with 1058-4, which is undegraded riverfront area, and what you have to do for that, whether it's a
Right.
single-family house shall allow if the lot was pre-existing '96, or new subdivisions in 5,000 square feet and 10% of the riverfront area you own. The law, I'm saying this about river law, because this is when it came in '96. The cotton picking river law is as thick as what the wetland protection regulation was before that. So you doubled the amount of pages just adding 1058 river. That's how complicated, as Joyce alluded to earlier, riverfront reg is. But there it is right there, what we're dealing with, that 1058-5, degraded riverfront area. And the reason why we're going with that first 100 is because if you read all of that, they want that first 100 as much as possible as far as the law does. And so we said, and I said to my client, it's a little bit harder to run with that thing, but let's go for it and ask for it. And if it can be had, then it benefits the environment, because the environment is that reg, apparently. So that's why we're here. And if it doesn't happen, then we don't, and we just stays where it is, and the asphalt stays in there, and we still do the project, and we have to adjust our numbers and eliminate 2,600 square feet, which is a small number of the overall work that we're gonna do. But I would like you to come out and take a look at it, so I'm asking for that inspection if you haven't done it. At your convenience, of course.
Yeah, I think that, we can do that.
Okay, thank you.
We can do that. Pick a date. I'm going away.
I'm going away. I'll be in Crete at the end of the month.
Oh, you're going away.
I'm diving over there, so.
Good for you.
So awesome.
I'm leaving the 29th.
I'm coming back. I'm leaving next week on the 22nd, but I'm only going to Chicago. I'm not going to free.
Well, I'm not saying it's a big, I've never been to Europe, so I'm going one time, I'm gonna go see this Greek stuff, and I'm gonna go, and that's it, so, I'm 68, I'm gonna go there once, and the rest of the time I've always spent, I only do vacations twice a year, but I do it in US, so we're gonna go check that once.
Cool.
Okay, I am gonna testify, I think, on Tuesday. I can do, I can't do the 21st at night after work. I could only do Monday, the 19th, or kick the can until I come back, but you're gonna be gone. How long are you gone for?
I'll be back on the 10th of July. Monday the 19th, we'll work with anything that you can.
Can you guys do Monday, the 19th? I don't know.
It should only take a half hour, this
Well-
inspection, it's all walkable.
That's next Monday,
That's next.
coming up
Monday.
Monday.
Yeah,
Mhm.
At this moment, yes. I mean, my
Mondays
social
are always tough
calendar is
for me,
so
but I can
full,
try and make
yeah.
do you, I mean, the other thing that we can do.
Oh, wait, that's, yeah, okay, I can do Monday.
Oh, you can't.
I'm taking next week off of work, so I can do Monday.
Oh, all right. What time do you wanna do it?
Your convenience, I'm right now free.
Can you do it like during the day?
Yeah.
Do you have just pick a time. I'm right now, it seems like I'm flexible, so.
Would mornings be better? They're all right?
Early in my office, I'm back, early morning or 3 or 4 or something in the afternoon.
I'd rather get it done early in the morning.
But I'm ready for it, 8 o'clock, I don't care.
8 o'clock's fine
8
by me.
o'clock, it's up to you, 8 o'clock, 8:30?
I hate 8 o'clock, but I'll do it.
Well, I don't wanna,
8:30?
No, 8 o'clock's fine, she'll suffer.
it's up to you.
You Go to bed the night before, will you?
I don't go.
I have a lot of stuff to
8
do.
o'clock, we've been up for 4 hours,
I
the
know.
day's
I-
half
I-
done.
My inspection this morning with Spencer, 8 o'clock, and I'm going like, I got out of hearings last night, so I'm there this morning, but we managed. But I normally don't do 8 o'clock myself. I do those bankers hours thing, I'm only kidding.
Right, 9 to 5. There we go, site inspect, and we're saying 8 o'clock on Monday.
Thank you so much.
And then we'll meet you on the closed road.
On the close, sure.
Yeah, we'll meet you somewhere over there.
Well, there's a crossing, a bridge, culvert crossing,
Yeah.
and then you're right onto that.
Yeah, yeah.
So we can drive in there
We live
over
in
the
a small town,
culvert.
we know these
We
roads.
know this
Yeah,
site,
we know
yeah.
this
If
stuff.
you take that left and you go in, you're actually in the pit. So if you could take a left, it's all drivable. There's still some activity to the pit. We're not expanding it, let me say that. But you can get into there. I would say no expansion in the Riverfront area.
All right. Okay,
That's
8 o'clock
we-
Monday.
we
8 o'clock
appreciate your
Monday
time
morning.
very much.
Oh, God.
Thank you.
Okay,
Oh.
thank you.
Should we bring you coffee, Joyce? Do we need
No,
to
I'm
bring?
not bringing coffee.
Wait a
I mean,
minute,
we don't
Clyde
need.
can bring the clock.
There we go.
We thank you
You're
for your
lucky that
time
I'm
and thank you
showing
for
up at
getting-
that time. Here, Glenn, you can, yeah.
You've got it
I
direct.
have
You got
enough
it direct.
paper and I
Yeah,
know where to
you-
find it.
Me too, thank you.
All right.
Well, have a good day.
That's ours.
That is
board?
yours.
Oh, the board is yours though.
Oh, thank you, you have that?
You want the board.
Again, we appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Yep.
Have a nice evening.
Thank you.
All right.
Did you sign in? They do like that.
I'm just gonna do this, okay, so something else is up.
Oh, this is Board of Selectmen.
Okay, I'm gonna fill
That's all
this
right, you
out.
can sign that one, we'll just cross
Okay,
that off.
Thank you.
I might need help filling this out.
Yeah, because it's,
Account name is what's the one for our main budget? What number?
I have it on a piece of paper at my desk, just leave that, I'll fill it tomorrow,
Okay,
because I'm not sure.
primary, just for us. Week ending, did we end
The
up?
17th, June 17th. It's on Saturday.
Description, laptop, battery. Oh, do I do this with how come there's dates? How do I fill this out?
I just usually put reimbursement for and then put what the reimbursement's for.
Laptop battery.
She doesn't really,
Reimburse
Or she hasn't been that fussy.
So this is,
Because we're gonna attach the bill to it anyways, the
the total
reimbursement.
is 39.42.
It's gonna be difficult sell,
And put your
I
name
think,
on it too.
to get money
And
away
then
from
your
the
name.
town, you know.
So
Well,
it's
that's-
payable to you?
You remember when that woman tried to give us that piece of property and they wouldn't take it over a few
25
dollars
bucks.
missing? Yeah, seriously. So if
See, but
Jeremy's
the question-
saying,
But the question is from, I don't know what the
Can I approve
reimbursement
my
rate is
own?
per mile.
I don't see why
know
not.
either, but
All right, well, we don't have
Right,
Richard
I
to do
think
it, so.
he doesn't wanna lose it either way.
32,
Although
so
amount,
it's,
yeah, I don't know how much it is.
If it's $50 a year, he doesn't spend that maintaining it, you know what I mean? That's money
Well,
in his
just
pocket.
reimburse to you.
Right.
I
Well,
usually just
yeah.
write it out, reimbursement to, and then.
Money in his budget.
So that she knows.
Joyce. Hacker. Is this right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
And
and
then-
then the three signatures.
It's gonna be a big development.
We need the approval.
Yeah. How many-
Okay.
How many
That's it, and
houses?
then we'll can you guys sign together and.
Sure.
They're gonna have how many?
Might wanna
15
sign the
units.
original bill.
Right.
That's
5
the other
buildings.
thing.
Oh,
Five
Can you
buildings
bring
of
it back
3
so we
each?
can si- Yeah, that paper there
That's
too,
gonna
she
add
might
up
not
if
if
they're-
it's not signed on there.
Do we all
Sign
have to
both
s-
of them.
Sign both of them? Okay.
I would sign it on both.
and then sign on
does it
this
say,
too.
Especially when it's the end of the fiscal year.
Yeah.
That might be
I mean,
another
if they
thing that,
put kids in them, if they're 2 or 3 bedrooms each.
I don't want her to come back saying she needs something, we're so
Rentals.
close.
Exactly.
And
I have been overwhelmed with people calling about my rental, like,
Oh, I heard some,
Through
I
the
saw
roof.
the little bitching about,
oh yeah,
so expensive, you could just
People
buy
love
your
to
own
bitch.
house.
people love to bitch. I've
No,
had
wait a minute, wait.
I've had 25 people call and apply, and I've been batting them away at this point. I've stopped. People still call me. I had 4 today, and I said,
Nice.
I've stopped accepting applications. I'm sorry.
so,
Wow,
is
good for you.
this, right in Warren here or West?
Yeah, School Street. I got a 3-bedroom duplex on
Alright.
School Street.
All right, so
3
there's
bedroom.
no,
Oh, yeah.
3-bedroom each side. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so
Well,
that's the one
obviously
that
that's
has
in
to get
demand.
submitted.
3 bedroom.
Yeah.
I wonder
And this one,
You have no clue where they're
it's for
coming
the
from.
ad
Like, are
for-
they coming from?
all right, so we're going to
Where are they coming
enroll
from, as far away as Springfield and
bills,
Bristol?
and I'm gonna
So,
add this for,
the bills.
My top 3 candidates, 2 of them are from Spencer, 1
Did
of
we
them's from
approve
Barry.
Ronnie Cox?
Alright.
Is that the
And then
one?
I've had people
No,
from
no, no.
everywhere, everywhere in
He hasn't
between,
given us
Worcester,
anything.
Springfield, and everywhere in between.
Well, you obviously got a price
Is that
right
the one
there.
that she needed?
Apparently.
the
I don't know if I have a
invoice
price right, it should have been
versus the
higher.
statement? 'Cause this
Maybe,
is an
well, I mean,
invoice.
I don't
as in
remember
it's
which
Not
one.
a statement.
It's not out
I'm not sure
of
either.
the
She
the
just
ballpark.
needs to
People
know
look at it and say,
what,
"Ooh, this is great, 3 bedrooms
what
at
it
this."
says, legal entity.
Obviously, it's in the
And
name.
that's
She
She
Well,
needs
Joyce,
to know
Joyce saw
what
it
it
online.
is.
We put it on Facebook, we spread it in the neighborhood pages
This,
just to say,
she
you know,
needs
it's
to know
open,
this.
check out.
This is the
And I'll
one
put it on
she needs, not
Realtor.com.
this.
But it's gotta say.
And, all the townies, all the townsfolk lit up.
She said
This
it
is so
together.
expensive, how can you be doing this? Like, you
invoice,
should be
not
ashamed of
statement.
yourself, charging this much
Remember that
money.
was the big
You're
one?
kidding me.
Right, because there was a
Seriously.
bill versus a
Yeah.
statement.
I don't know if this is the replacement one.
I'll give you an
or if this
example,
is
my
a new one.
daughter in
She needs
Medfield,
this,
or,
so this will all go together.
Medfield, yep,
Okay, do you need to
has
sign
a
that?
2-bedroom condo.
You need to sign
in an
everything,
old-
That's what
because I
I'm
just
thinking.
like.
It was a
Because
So
I'll
this is-
submit it
churches
the way it
for the
is.
nuns.
She just
Mhm.
needs to
Redone.
know,
Very nice.
what it is that we're paying for,
It's almost 3,000 a month.
Okay.
that, and then, and that we don't,
2-bedroom.
like,
It's beautiful, it's
we
well
don't
maintained.
do
Sure.
it more than once,
But
because if she
To
just
pay
gets
for
this,
the
it doesn't have a
monthly
language
maintenance
on
fee
it,
bill.
Right.
so, and
That's
then
what she
does this
said.
have
And it's not overpriced, it's good for you.
Mhm.
She
order
just had the
number
tenant move out and
86?
she's put it up, it's like, wow.
She put it up higher than 3,000?
So what I can do is
The
ask
going
her
rate is
which
more than
one it
3.
was. that she
She's at
did.
2.
It doesn't make
Good for
it,
her.
You can
no, it
put it
does.
under the,
Here.
just to make it sound better,
Sure.
per month.
When did she send it to me?
Not
It
bad.
is,
So, use that as a, that's why I asked if it's
This
coming
one,
from a
and
long
then
ways away, because
here.
people can work from home
and
now.
I'm gonna
so-
search for
Yeah.
Tammy.
Most of the people are from within 20 minutes or
She
so.
said she was
Yeah,
gonna pay
well,
because it was due.
But the
which
people
this
who were
one would've
complaining
been due
were from
in
town.
May, too.
Of course they are,
Yeah.
I bet you they're old.
Most of them were, yeah, almost all of them were.
Holy cool, well, I used to get a room for $700.
Yeah. And the
Okay.
thing is, the efficiency apartments at Mountain View, that apartment building, it's an efficiency apartment.
Yeah,
1 room with a small bathroom. That's
Okay,
it.
so she was like,
That's
this is the
$1,100.
one.
is it really?
Yeah. So I thought, for
Which
3 bedrooms,
was-
1,700 is not
It says
out of the
billing
ballpark.
period statement number,
Not a bit, and it shows, because she had all the
and
costs.
it was for,
What was the other one I've heard?
it doesn't say what it was for.
Oh.
See, I think
My
that's the
daughter's
problem.
That, I
husband
think that was the problem.
is
This
right-
one's
used to have-
specifically for
had
that.
But this
a
one
condo
doesn't
that
say
he bought
either.
years ago.
It says public
Father was a
meeting.
doctor.
This is balance forward,
So
that's
he had
why.
a condo where he was
So this
to
isn't
look
even a good enough
down the
description.
street and see water.
So this together
all day.
is,
Is what she's
I think
probably
you
gonna
right, but
It's a
here's the
one-
thing, it says
It's
order
a one converted
number,
factory, just as you said.
there's
One
an
big
invoice
room,
number, there's no
bedroom,
order
bathroom.
number.
Yep.
There's a
and
customer
I
number.
think that's even more.
That's
I bet.
us. But
Because
eight
it's right
six one seven
downtown,
eight
the
five
city of
four.
Boston.
Oh, I
Would that be
easily.
when I ordered it on
Easily.
the computer? Would that be an order that's,
So-
an order number they would send me?
So none
No,
of
the
this,
two of them, that and the
none of
other
this
house.
matches, is this for,
Good for you guys.
when is this
Yeah.
for?
Those came together. That's for the ad. for
See, here's the
public-
Yeah, so
problem,
he'll-
these things separate,
He'll rent those.
and
no
they don't
problem.
match. There's this
I
thing
don't think
that
he's
says
gonna have a hard
order
time.
number, and it
No,
doesn't,
And that-
some of
that's
them
the
were
way
two
they
bedroom
came.
and some are three, right?
No, all of them are three.
didn't say
All,
that.
three family, three family.
Oh, three family, it
So
doesn't
it's
say how
actually
many
this
bedroom.
company the way they
Yeah.
do it.
Two or three.
Unless the order number would be the email that was sent, which I can
Just
check
thinking
that
if you
to see
build
if there is an
those
order
three
number in an
family,
email form.
It's gonna take
But they're not putting it on the,
It's a lot of,
There's an invoice
It's a lot of
number,
time
which
to get
doesn't
your money back
exist,
for building.
554,
three families, if you're making 6,000 a month, well, you're definitely,
6,000 a month per building, and then the cost of the building
Okay.
doesn't usually go down.
That is
That's the
like-
thing, like real estate,
Alright.
especially these
we
days,
stapled this
it goes up.
together.
As long as
to
you
say
maintain
this
it
is
decently,
back-assed words,
Well,
you're gonna get your money out, so.
it may do
and we
this.
sign everything.
Go away.
All right, so is this a
Tends
new
to
one,
whack right
or is
back
this?
Right.
that's a new one that came in.
But
But
Yeah,
what is
over
this
time.
for?
Over
which
time.
one she paid
Well, I
for Ronnie
remember I bought our
Cross?
house
Right here, it tells you.
in 81.
That was the
Republican
legal ad
Wednesday,
we
April
paid.
12th,
It
someone
was-
from the Shepherd
The
Building.
guy had broken up, and
But
there
is
were
this
two
the one that
lots
she was
up
gonna
the
pay
street
even
from
though
me.
the
One
paperwork
of
was
them's right
wrong
on
and wanted new
our driveway, the
paperwork?
order
Well,
to
hold
begin.
on a second, this,
So I
She
bought
was
it
kinda like,
for $2,500.
well, this one, first of all, says prepay
In
unemployed,
82,
$29.48, and I don't know why this is
Oh, you're
50.
paying all that money, nobody will
This is
ever build there. What are you
4.5,
talking about? Well,
Public meeting.
a few
We have
years
another
later,
public
right up to
meeting
the one above
that's
it.
it.
After
Now
Ronnie
there's a house
Cox.
on it.
Now, there's a house, yeah.
And then
it's like,
this
yep.
says
No, Ronnie
balance.
Cox
It's a
was
good
it.
thing I
So,
bought it.
no, no, no,
Right
this
next to
is,
the neighbor, right?
no, this is different,
right
because
next
this
to me.
is
So they're sticking them in wherever,
3-1,
there's
balance
already
forward
1,
is
2, 3 here, right here on this
$29.
corner,
All right,
on the
this
other
is
side,
April.
so.
This is a
really?
whole new
Yeah, they're
one,
building in
and
this
this
area
is
on any
4.5.
Oh, yeah,
scrap
I
of land they
remember
can
So these are
find.
two
I haven't been
totally
down there in a
different
while,
things.
but
If you go up Cummins Pond,
She
it's the
ha-
corner of Cummins
She
and
got the one,
Nelson.
she
Yeah.
got what she
Yeah.
needed.
So this
there
is
was
the
that
new
empty
one that-
lot there.
This is a new
Yeah.
one, and I don't know what
Stuck,
this is for.
3 houses there.
Is that
It's for
right?
the meeting that we just had last,
So I don't know what this is for.
right, that's the one we didn't know what it was for.
I don't know what that's for, but she
It's hard to
got
find
it
a house.
figured out. But this is not helpful.
My next door neighbor just sold their house,
Because she
They
said we
listed
needed
it
statements,
on
not invoices.
Friday night,
So this one here.
Friday afternoon.
It says
It went live on the
Invoice,
invoice.
listing,
not
they were telling me,
statement.
they're
It
like,
was
you know, we
statements
put
you
it
didn't want.
live out on Friday night,
And that came with.
they had a
with
showing
that.
on Sunday.
So it shows you what we're supposed
They
to
had an
pay.
I
offer
know, I know.
30,000
Okay, so
above
this is Ronnie Cox.
asking
I have no
on
idea what
Tuesday.
this is, so maybe
I've heard
when
of,
it comes in.
I don't know if it still's that way, but
She said she
you know,
called
that's what they
and
say.
had,
They
and
said,
they
"We're gonna open
sent
it
something
here,
to
we're
her,
gonna
so
accept
it should be all
offers
set.
until here.
But she
and
spent
we'll
an
have a
hour
decision
chasing
by
them down.
2 days later, whatever,
Yep.
that's it.
Yep.
And I guess
And
you
they're
know,
huge, some of them.
what she
Alright,
said,
so
I
these two
received
did
this.
come together, so this is probably what she's
Just
looking
can't
for in
imagine,
the
you know,
future.
$1 million, $1.5 million, $2 million.
Well, yeah,
this
I mean,
area,
honestly,
or-
No,
we need
no,
to
this
pay
is out
attention to
towards
what we're paying and why, so
Boston
this
area,
is
my
better.
daughter,
So you
Yeah, I
want
do a
some
lot of
more
work out
pages?
toward Boston, and it's not unheard of to see $5,
Or
6,
just
$7
one?
million
I was-
houses.
oh, yeah.
Nothing special.
Yeah,
No,
that's not.
well, I like the ones where they pay $1 million to tear it down.
Does she say
I see
what
that
we're
all the time.
supposed to
It's like,
sign?
no,
what? They paid $1 million? That's a beautiful home. Oh, they're tearing it down.
Yeah.
Cause I know on this you have to
Seriously.
sign both.
My,
You have to sign the bill
my
and
nephew,
the
who is
expense report.
4 or 5 years out of college, and his wife just bought a $900,000 house that basically needed work. That means it needed paint.
Okay, so it's like in the back.
It's beautiful.
All right, I don't
It's
know,
got
I'm
an
just gonna
in-law
put this
place.
down. All right, okay.
So that's.
Crazy.
Well,
I'm
the
like,
bill
how
that
can you
came in.
afford
Do you have a stapler?
$900,000? Obviously they
Not
can.
here. Not here, but I do at the
Alrighty.
office. There's nothing in the drawer either.
Are you helping? You guys are just sitting there talking?
We are talking.
We are, yeah.
You're administrating. You should do that on your own time. Sorry.
Wow.
I'm sitting over here, you can't hit me. I was closer, I'd be worried.
If I were a good aim, I'd send it to you.
Oh, you don't want to do that.
Okay.
They poke me in the eye and get in
We're
trouble.
gonna sign both sheets, cause I don't know what we're supposed to do.
All right.
We signed this already. Can I have a motion to pay our bills?
Motion to pay our bills.
And, okay, she didn't put the amount. 5092 to pay an ad. Was that how much his,
Wait a minute,
Hold it.
2144
No, his was only,
for Ron
it,
Cox?
it looks like there's a balance from probably the one that she had to pay last meeting. Remember she said she was gonna
when did we
pay it?
get this?
You're
That
still
just
not gonna
came in
have
last
power when
week.
you get home.
I see them, they were working on it.
But
Did she not pay the last one?
Southbridge
said she
Road,
was
they're
going
working
to.
on now, and I just got a call
So
for,
why is
again,
this-
So I need to meet with
another
her, I
power
need
issue
to,
on Southbridge Road,
to get a
Arkham
hold of
Wires.
her.
This is
They were on Southbridge,
21.
they came down. Must be further up.
632, it's where the S Bend is there, where the bed and bath, or.
Yeah, that's where they were working.
Bed and breakfast, that's what I was thinking of.
Do you think there's another one besides that one?
Billing period, April 1st through April 30th, and then,
That one I thought you said was March, right?
They're still
No,
working on it.
Yeah. There was a couple of grid trucks there when I came
cause
home.
that meeting was in May, so
so
we
it was
had to.
March, January, February, March, and then this is April.
Right, cause
Okay,
that was
so
the May
was March.
meeting, so it had to be published May 3rd, which would put it in April that we ordered it.
What did we have on our agenda in March? Do you have any idea? Do you have the notes
I don't have,
or the agendas in that book?
nope, it's in the office. Because it would be Ronnie Cox, because we had to publish it by the 3rd of May, which means I would have ordered it in April.
Okay, the bill that she paid was in March. It would have been in March, and it's 2948.
Yep, that would not
This
be,
is now
that would not be-
5092. So,
did it cross in the mail?
and then she sent it 517. And it was due
520, I thought it said on the thing.
520, so
Yeah.
I think she paid it.
But if it was on the 17th, it wouldn't have been paid until probably the week after. Because that's a
No, it was
Wednesday.
paid that morning, the 17th. That's why she sent an email. She spent an hour.
She would pay a bill on a Wednesday? Because she never does on a Wednesday.
All right, maybe it is late. Okay, all right. So we are approving 2144. Right?
So I think it crossed in the mail. Because even if she paid it before then, they probably didn't clear it. How much was due on the other bill? Did she say in the email?
I have the bill and it says 2948.
So if we take it off of that,
Hold on a second.
it should give us the balance.
2948 plus 2144.
Doesn't equal?
No, I did something
Oh,
wrong.
I was gonna say.
2948 plus. 5092. Okay,
So is it the two?
it's
The
the
past
two.
due plus the new,
So I'm gonna say
to pay the new part.
5092 includes the March. Okay, did you sign both?
Absolutely.
Did you guys do that? No, you didn't. Yeah, sign both sheets. So we are going to pay,
2144.
no,
20.
what's,
Oh.
yes, 2144.
21.
Second?
44.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And, also, can I have a motion to pay, 3942 to Joyce Ihawker?
Make a motion to pay $31.42 to Joyce Ihawker
For the batteries,
for the batteries.
battery, I think.
Otto?
Or,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
I'm probably not allowed to sign this, but since we only have 3 people on the board, there it is.
What are they gonna do?
So that's the,
All right,
that's
pay with the
the boys.
thing. All right, this is for you.
All right, so it's 2 bills I'm turning in. Okay, perfect. Those are my 2 bills.
From Justin Paquette.
Bills, bills.
Okay,
Correspondence, we just have
the
one,
correspondence.
and then she has the printouts on budgets and
I used to
stuff.
pay for rent stuff.
So our line item is,
And that's the only thing that came in for correspondence.
Did I give you my agenda when I
Oh, I
passed?
did give you
Purchase.
the, I did give you the 2 things from Jill.
okay, so I don't know the difference between purchase and supplies, but it's 020, function 020. I don't know which, and these are all Tim's. So whatever you do to pay for your supplies, whichever budget number, I want you to put on my,
On there,
right.
okay.
You know what I mean?
Yep,
And I don't know if this is, I don't know.
put number on invoices.
Well, we have a lot of extra cash. Unexpended balance. We did okay, all right.
Can we request again of the selectmen a stipend? I don't know if we're allowed to do that. I know that you had tried
We
at one
have to
point.
we have to go through the finance committee and then we have to run it by town meeting.
I feel like we're the only people, or one of the very few people who don't get one. And
Planning board doesn't get one either.
They don't get one either?
No,
I have asked a couple of people and they're like, well, what do you get for doing it? I was like, oh, nothing.
trust me, yeah.
Um,
Well, at least the chairperson should get some.
somebody should get something, yeah.
I would support the chairperson.
Yeah,
getting a
absolutely.
stipend. I'm not so concerned about myself,
Right.
but I know you put in an awful lot of time, Joyce.
I do.
You
But
do.
it's too much time.
You
I
do.
think you should get a stipend.
I'm just trying to think about like attracting people to try and join.
Oh, right, exactly. It is, oh, yeah, there should be, you know what, I was also,
So that came certified, that's why I left the envelope there, I don't know.
of the official, I was also thinking.
Came certified.
Because we are all anxious to ramp down our careers as conservation commissioners. I did tell Jim Farrar to put a notice out for us, because we're looking, we still have, I don't know, 1, maybe 2 seats, probably, I mean, and I dropped the ball on that, I didn't look into it, I have to ask Jim about that. But most towns, including small towns like Brimfield, they have a conservation agent.
Right. Yeah.
Do they
And the
really?
cons-
They hire, the town itself hires and pays for
Yeah.
a professional.
A professional.
That's your job.
I would be an agent.
Yeah.
You know,
That,
I can't
mean,
be on the
you're
board if I'm an
licensed
agent.
and everything, that's your job. I mean, per
But an
se.
agent would do, you know, the bulk of the homework and follow through and all of the
They would
crap
go
that
do
I
site
do.
visits and stuff.
And the site visits.
And the site, but the board should do site visits.
Sure.
They're making decisions on something, somebody should show up. But the
They're-
primary thing is for going through the bylaws, not the bylaws, going through 310 CMR, finding the right spot in 310 CMR, you know, like this whole thing with Riverfront. Riverfront is just complicated and messy, and
I would like to have it, make a motion that goes into the notes that we send a little thing to the selectmen. I don't know if that's where you start, or the
Yeah.
planning board, because that
it's
we
not
should
the
have
planning board. It
a
would be the town administrator and the selectmen.
town administrator selectmen, that we should have a, what did you call
It's a conservation agent.
Conservation.
And we
them?
couldn't do
Conservation
it
agent.
until
and-
next year, or because we would have to hire,
Right, I mean, it wouldn't happen now, because it's the budget's passed,
We just
but
passed
it's,
the budget,
you gotta
right.
start it,
Right, so
and it's
just,
gotta be approved by town meetings,
yeah,
so therefore it should be started now. And they can research other towns,
gonna
and I
say-
think that's a key selling point is,
I know Brimfield has one.
Wales
there's-
has one and Holland has one. I mean, they're
oh,
small
is that right?
towns.
Holland and Wales too?
Yeah,
Yeah.
small towns
Oh,
out.
small towns. Now, is
And they
it
have
one,
like,
is it a full, it's not a full.
It's not a
No,
full
no,
time,
no,
so it's
it's
typically a
super
person who
part-time.
kind of like goes to a bunch of different towns. So that usually it's somebody who knows the laws and they work
So they.
4 hours for this town, 4 hours for that town, whatever.
Yeah.
And they might do.
Per week, or
Half a
if you
dozen
think
pounds.
maybe, or is it by, that so many hours per
we
week?
could even just do a per month and then when it's needed, I don't, it depends on the person. We don't always have
Right.
things to go over, but when I get emails all the time from, that I'm like fielding, right? They're like, somebody calls up, usually it's not our department, right? You've got the wrong department, but oftentimes it's, how do I do this, or what do I do that? Can you
Yep.
take a look at this? There's a ton of that happens.
Yeah, no, I think we should make that,
So you making the motion
I think we,
to go to the
make
town
a motion,
administrator?
or if that's what we need to do, but we should have a letter, start the ball running, and, if one more person isn't here, we can't make any decisions.
We can't make any decisions, I know. Well, so for one, there's two things. We need additional people. We need 2 more people so we can have some flexibility.
Yeah.
And then and that person would be part of the board too, and vote, right?
No, the agent does not vote.
The
The
agent
agent
doesn't
does
vote.
not vote. The agent is,
Just, okay,
they are,
Like a professional
advisor.
advisor, yeah.
all right.
they're an advisor. They have a
Okay.
strong knowledge because
They don't.
honestly, it's a pretty complicated,
is.
the 310 CMR is a pretty complicated document, and
Yep.
we do what we do. We
And
know
I
it a
think
lot,
that-
I know
and
it a lot now,
I think that's
but.
the
This point,
argument
yeah.
that needs to be made. A professional who knows the document, deals with it all the time,
Right.
Yeah.
is going to be able to make better, more efficient, clearer.
Well, somebody getting
Decision.
paid, I mean, frankly, at this point, I could do that job.
I think you could, so
Yeah.
I think you could apply.
And then there would be more people. Okay, so here, we're coming up to the other thing, is that, I know you are up. So, and, I know, I'm asking you to please stay, so we can have 3 people.
I'm
at
up for
least.
what? Oh,
Your
I-
term is
Your
over.
term is up.
Oh, I haven't been sworn in yet.
So you haven't been sworn in, and that's kind of an issue. When I said it's really challenging for our board to get sworn in, and so we can have Lori come to our next meeting,
Excellent.
quickly
Beautiful.
do that. So you will be sworn in for your next term.
1 year.
You can quit whenever we have more people. Well, you better start working on it. You know way more people than I do.
I don't know that many people.
I know like
I've
3
only-
people.
I've only lived
I
here
know
since
you.
'80. Yeah, since 1980, and I don't know anybody.
I'm a hermit.
Do you want me to ask Lori tomorrow then? To make sure she comes to the meeting?
Yes, would you ask Lori
Yep.
to come to our next meeting, and then we can
July.
swear in Otto?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if you're outstanding. Oh, did I send you a note?
You sent me a text.
So it'll be
I
July
tried to
12th.
get here. It
Okay,
was
so
either
she'll come
after
and have you
hours
sworn.
or
So the
a
problem
Friday.
is that's us making decisions on things is, we need to be sworn in,
Sure.
so
Don't
All
tell
right,
anybody.
I'll take care of that tomorrow.
we are, okay. All right, so this is the yearly
Nobody cares.
operational plan for
Right.
railroad right
You
of
do it
way.
So
yourself
who's
then if
making
you
that
want.
motion?
Wow.
Who's making the motion
Oh,
to
I don't think it's a motion, we don't.
No, I think it's,
discussion?
you've been directed, I don't know if you wanna, Joyce, somebody needs to start contacting the selectmen, finance board, that, it's time to start thinking about long range.
All right.
Yeah.
We need to start, yeah, right,
Because
so
of the
I'll
time
reach out
commitment,
to-
the law is very
I'll reach out to the
complicated,
selectmen, I could do that.
and,
It's a-
somebody, it's gotta start,
So-
if Holland, Wales, Brimfield have them,
This is
Wales.
like, until my next
They've got a
meeting,
lake up.
my life is like crazy, so I'm not even going to,
We'll
even
give
begin
you,
to write.
we'll give you until after vacation.
but, maybe we can like, right, we can hash through it at our next meeting.
Well,
CSX is doing their yearly operational plan.
We can see it. We can't say anything though.
The describes, if we have complaints,
who's doing their what?
CSX, the train, they go and
The train.
they spray down the tracks.
We actually went with them like many years ago, Tim and I.
Did you?
We were like, we made them like mark the train
I
track.
was gonna say they have marks and they're supposed to stop and start when they see the marks.
Yeah,
Mm.
you know, the guys like, right?
They've
Okay.
already been doing that. They're already there working.
It's supposed to be an automatic thing at one point.
Oh, they're
That's-
spraying or something? Is that what
They're
you're
doing all
Okay.
kinds of stuff. I think
So,
they're putting down more stone.
I'm
I'm
doing
trying
all
to
kinds
whip
of
along,
stuff.
there's a couple more things.
Sure.
Payroll stuff.
They are doing, employee reviews.
Who's the they?
So it now is gonna be the department chair and Jim Ferrara. So we are supposed to be doing employee reviews like forever, in which we haven't done, so, it's good that he's here, he's ramping it up. There's a sign-up sheet by his door, you and I need to coordinate a time. So look at the sign-up sheet, find a time that's good for you, and then check in with me.
So when's your vacation and stuff?
Oh, God. We leave on the 22nd?
Yeah, that's when school ends, so, and then summer school starts
And
July
then we're back on
11th.
the 27th.
So probably right after that then, cause
Yeah.
then summer school starts on the 11th again.
So we could actually go up to the office. I think we have sign-up sheets. We can go after this and just pick a date. Okay, all right, good, all right. So
That works.
your pay, do you
So
have
you
that?
need this?
I do need that. Payroll.
Alright, so this just gets filed in the
Just this
CSX.
file and the CSX, yeah.
Yep.
Can I have a motion to
CSX
ratify
file.
payroll?
The motion to ratify. Oh no,
Oh,
I
pay
have the
bill.
current one.
Pay
Did I
bills.
give you
Here.
that? I think I gave you mine. Actually.
Ratify.
Maybe not. For week ending May 3rd, in the amount of $122.45.
When was it?
May 3rd.
Yeah, May 3rd, $122.45.
Sorry, I'm looking at,
Did I put it in the wrong order? Should be,
I don't see May 3rd.
should it be May 3rd?
That's the
Actually,
first
May-
one on here.
I have May 13th,
We don't.
I bet you it's
have
May
any-
13th and you missed the
It
one.
could-
and it's 122.45, okay.
It's supposed to be May 13th.
Yep,
There's a
okay.
typo. Okay.
Yep,
May 20th, 101.34.
okay,
May 27th, 101.34.
okay.
June 3rd, 101.34. And June 10th, 101.34.
Okay,
All right.
second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Oh, you can, I have one too, and then,
You're
I
meeting
must have
with,
given you
the administrative person, is that who you've got your meeting with?
the town administrator is implementing
A review.
employee reviews.
Well, how many hours do you work for that 101, Corinne, if I may ask?
6,
How many?
6.
6 hours? I suggest you ask for a raise.
I don't think it's up
Well,
to
it's
you.
not.
Is it?
I
It's in
don't-
the
I
pay
don't-
schedule.
Huh?
It's in a
There's
pay schedule.
Well,
I-
and it's totally ridiculous for 6 hours to get 101. I'm sorry. This is not 1950.
Did you recently get a raise last year?
She did get a raise, there was like a jump,
Yeah. I mean, it's nothing to scream about.
there
But
was not a lot to scream about, that's for sure, but it's
But
like,
at least you were
it's
included.
more like,
There wasn't much to scream about at school either.
yeah.
Well,
I'm sure that it was less to scream about at school.
It was 60 cents at school.
Woo, like here, you got like a few dollar jump, right, cause you went from like
It was,
17 or 16
no, I
to
think
18.
it was, I think it was 15, I wanna say 15.80, I think it was a buck. I thought it was like
You're at
15.80,
18 now, right?
no, 16.80, 16
I thought you were
something.
I know.
18.
No, 16.89.
My wife does the same thing. She's
I
a
thought you were at
new
18.
office manager
Jill's
for
at
the water
18.
department.
yeah, they same pay.
$18
And
she
an
wanted-
I
hour
thought you.
for the
you
office
went-
manager.
Really? I thought you went up to like
Ridiculous.
17 and change or 18.
Thing that burns me is
Not
she
yet.
doesn't get any
I don't know
holidays
what
off,
the fiscal
so
year's
she doesn't
gonna
get any
bring,
paid
Right.
holidays.
cause I don't
doesn't
know
get
how to
any
read
paid
the,
vacation.
the
She's only
tiers, I
part-time,
don't
so
know how
I
to
told
read
her,
those tiers.
Oh,
nothing.
yeah.
I was like, you don't even get
Whatever,
like
rocket
Christmas
science.
paid?
Okay, so there's 2 quick things to
You
look
work an
at.
8-hour day?
Here.
4-hour day. 4-hour day, 5 days a week.
This goes here, this goes here.
It
Just
looks
go
like
with it.
Becky and Richard are now consultants to people.
Becky and
I'm
Richard.
sorry.
for the planning board.
Becky and Richard are consultants? As in, like, they've started a company, paid consultants?
Yeah, I guess so. They submitted, Samek is putting up a building. There's no plan attached to, they have a building plan, but there's no plan attached as to where it's located on the site, which is what the planning board does, so we don't have.
She may have a bigger plan. She said something
She
about a
might,
bigger
yeah.
plan, but I could not
Which
find
property
it.
is this?
It's one of the ones on 19.
Okay.
It's the one that used to be owned by John Beadle.
Mm-hmm. That's where he threatened to put in the Section 8 houses? That was that one?
No, that's Ronnie Cox.
Oh, okay.
It's gonna be filed.
It's hard to keep track of all this, but, so this one is the one, that John Feigel owned, that the police used to use for,
Oh, I thought he sold
the
that.
fire range. He sold it to Samek, and so Samek is
Oh.
continuing to do the gravel pit, but now he wants to put in a building, a structure,
Mm-hmm.
All right, okay, just a structure,
yeah, just to
just a structure.
put his equipment in and
Yeah.
whatever.
So which one on 19 is this one?
Right
I think
after-
it's the one right after the
Wells.
highway department.
And it's right after
Okay.
the wells that are in there somewhere.
Right after
Right,
the wells.
exactly. So I don't know where the building is, I'm gonna have to look at that.
She
And
has a
then-
bigger plan. I can't find it. She did say she had a bigger plan if you needed to see it, but did not give it to me.
All right,
But
this
she was
is-
trying to get
I
out of here
take it,
too.
there's wetlands around that,
There, I
But all
believe
the
there
Yeah,
are.
there's a riverfront in the back,
in the back, there's.
so I'm not really sure where they're putting the building, I'm assuming,
Oh,
I
yeah,
mean,
that's right, there's a
there's no
pond
reason to put the
in that
building in the
trailer
back.
park.
Now, I can see if Jill can
Must
give
run
me
down
that and
through
drop
there
it off if you
somewhere,
want.
Yeah.
The bigger
well, I
plan,
think she only has one plan, so I'll just have to
which
go
I
in
looked
and
trying to find it.
Yeah, there's a
go
lot
in
of
and take a
wetlands
look at it.
behind
I
there,
told her
because
I'd
it's all
come
the
in and look
wetlands
at it, and I
associated
was
with
gonna
Cummins
do it
Pond.
today. I'll have to
It's
do
the
it
backside of
tomorrow.
Cummins.
Yeah,
All right, so I'm trying to understand, this is Callahan's gravel pit.
Callahan's.
Half of this town is gravel.
That's the new one that came out. I think those are the plans for that I
Oh,
found in her.
This is a site after. Assessor's map 5, lot 22, which is the rural zoning.
What's-
This isn't an expansion of,
Callahan's gravel.
That one she did
Oh,
have
on
big
the
plans,
hill.
cause it's
Devils.
marked 310.
Devil's Peak.
Yeah.
no, but I think it's also like on Route 19. Hold on a second.
Oh, is that one also on Route 19?
Town of
I thought his was
Warren,
by
Assessors.
Well, I know he owns-
Santos Road or something.
Yeah, his is up on the hill there. That's one of them, he probably has more.
What did I say? Map 5, so it's 522, all right, so it's 005, 022. Yeah, that's not coming up. It says, oh, 0, 0, 0. Assessor's map, 5/22/25. Number in the format. 000. Ah, look at that.
Yeah, so it is.
It's up off, it's
West
up on the hill,
Brimfield,
Devil's
yeah.
Peak,
Do
or
you see
whatever
where
you call
that
it.
is?
Yeah, it's
Oh,
right on the edge of town over
Oh.
by Palmer.
Right, they've
Oh, okay,
basically
so what is
flattened
that
it,
one?
they've already kind of flattened it pretty much.
Yeah,
yeah, they
it's up a
already,
ton.
they're like adding to the,
Oh, to the size of this pit? He's gonna take more stuff out of there? No, that,
everyone's struggling with the
there's a lot
here.
more he can take out. He didn't buy all of that, they said he bought it off, my God.
Right?
I take it that yellow outline is what he owns?
He owns, all the way up to Gilbert Road.
So that's up by the pike, right?
which is the one that goes,
Right there, it's surrounded in yellow. Is that all his? No.
yeah, this is Gilbert Road, so this is all his. This is, no, here's Gilbert Road, and then there's like some parcels over here too.
Right.
And then there's something over here, down here he owns. He owns a lot. All right, I can't really tell where this pit is.
It's right where your little green dot is.
Well, yeah, I understand it's on, but it's on, more than one lot, it's 22
Oh.
through whatever. And so what they're saying is that he's just updating his, pit permit. That has to be renewed every year.
Okay. I didn't think he was hauling any more out of there, but.
Yeah, I think that they
Well,
are,
I mean,
they're still
at one
working
point,
it.
for years, every morning, you'd have the tractor trailer trucks leaving out there continuously. Like starting at 7 o'clock until whatever, then they'd start hauling for the asphalt.
Right, so this is it
Yeah,
on
right.
Mass Mapper. So we were looking at that. This is where they're doing it. There's a lot of wetlands back there. This is Smith Road, the road that's
Yeah.
closed off. This is Gilbert Road.
Well,
This
there's
is-
a question, now they closed that road off,
Yeah,
Smith Road, but the town still collects money because it's a road?
no,
Apparently.
I mean, I don't know.
I'm just just thinking what Paquette says.
Right.
Did they physically close the road to traffic?
They have closed
Or
it, so
did it-
it's now a private road.
So do they, if it's a private road, can they collect federal money?
I don't think so. I mean.
You wouldn't think so, so I'm
maybe-
surprised they would do it. If they can't collect money, remember, they wouldn't take.
The town may have benefited from it because we essentially gave it to, maybe there was like some kind of benefit from it. I mean, I don't really.
Right, right.
This is
I
like
mean-
a while ago, I have no idea.
I'd have no idea either, because
They just didn't want, ultimately what happened is that people were going to climb on, Devil's Peak because there was good hiking and stuff, and they were blasting and doing stuff, and they didn't want anybody on that land anymore because ultimately it was pretty dangerous if somebody wandered into the wrong spot. And they had it posted, no
trespassing.
trespassing, and
That never stops anybody.
I was gonna say.
doesn't, but it helps that you close the road off.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never,
Okay.
never been up there. Never been up to the top of Devil's Peak.
It's not really carried over.
I don't even know if it's a peak anymore.
You can still see it when you come down Old Warren Road.
Are
Well,
they
you can
taking
see
some of it down?
Well, on the
A little by
back side of
little?
it, they've really leveled it. I mean,
This
they-
is all right here where the work is, you can see how it's lighter,
All right.
that's where they're working. And so where the peak is,
Do
Yeah,
you
it's
have
up.
the
You need-
picture
yeah,
version
it's right
of
there,
that?
top corner. You
that's
just-
where the work
you
is.
Just scroll
Yeah.
past it.
Oh, did I went
You
back
can
one.
see it marked on the map. It's got a word on it. There it is.
Oh, Devil's Peak is over here.
Yeah.
Oh, right, yeah.
So they aren't working up in there yet, but
All right.
Moving their way toward it.
Well, this looks, yeah, it's pretty far away.
Yeah.
Interesting. All right, well, there's nothing, no
None-
comment on this one. If you would send an email, send an
Okay.
email to Jill and just say we're fine with Callahan, so they are already working.
None of that blasting is affecting that pond there, is it? Going down into that little stream down into that pond.
From here to here, is like 230 feet. And as far as the elevation, I'm not really sure. It's hard to say.
those aren't buildings, are they? Are they just piles of rock?
They're just piles of rock, and then they have like those big,
Crushers?
conveyor belt machines
Yeah. Fill the trucks.
that fill the trucks. Yeah. Honestly, their land is totally isolated. They could be doing any number of things. They could be over here for all we know.
You can see the change in elevation
Yeah.
there. I've heard it's pretty dramatic.
Oh, yeah. I was up there a few years back with, Dave, right? Dave, which one is?
Callahan?
Yeah.
I think it's Dave.
Dave is the,
Dave's the only,
and then John is the, I always get it mixed up. Which one is Dave? Is Dave like the older one that is more?
he's more the boss. He's the
Yeah,
one that lives in
okay.
West Brookfield that built the.
John is the one who, runs more of the construction
Yes.
side, right, okay. Yeah,
Well,
I was
they've
up with
sold
John.
Palmer Paving. though.
they so,
Yeah.
yeah, they did.
They don't, they
They
just
don't do
made their
that
money
anymore.
and sell them gravel, cover all the pits. Yeah, we'll just,
Okay, all right. I think that's it, right?
we didn't hear from, you got, Ryan Cox didn't show up?
Ronnie Cox didn't show up.
He was supposed to though.
And neither did Jim Fountain. Jim Fountain has a project that he has Glenn working on, by Carl Street.
I don't know where that is.
You know where Bridge Street is?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
So Bridge Street, Carl Street is one of the
Oh, yeah.
roads that are off on the side, and
Yep.
he wanted to put one or two houses on the slot
Yeah.
that runs parallel to the stream that goes on Bridge Street.
okay.
And then I'm not really sure what happened. He was going to be at this meeting. No idea.
We're not ready,
You're not ready.
we're not ready.
All right. I think that we're good. Are we good?
It's up to you, ready for a motion? You sure?
I don't know. I feel like I'm missing something, but Corinne, do we have anything else?
Not that I know of.
Motion to adjourn until
Second.
July.
July
what?
12th. July 12th?
July 12th,
What's July 12th?
that's our next meeting.
Nice.
Good date?
Not really. Just a day. I'm
It's
not
July,
excited.
right?
You
It's July.
said you're getting back on the 10th?
Glenn does. I'm gonna be back. I'm just
Okay.
doing a short stint.
Is he always like that?
Is,
You mean
does he
like-
always drop names? Like, here, I'm impressed.
Oh. This was mellow.
Really? Wow.
This was
Talk about a
mellow.
name dropper, place dropper, job dropper.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Okay,
holy
we're like on,
crap.
Glenn
So you've dealt a lot with him.
goes a mile a minute. Like,
Yeah.
he
I-
is so wired and pumped up on goofballs. It
Okay.
is completely, like, no word in edgewise.
I
We
could
hired
follow
him-
him.
We hired him to peer review, a project for us at one point, way back. It was on Coy Hill, the ZPT, when the
Mhm.
road kept on washing out. And then we haven't hired him back since.
No?
He's very good, he's very knowledgeable, he knows what he's talking about. Lots of good things, but, we got a lot of bluster on one side, and then as soon as CPT walked in, like, totally, like, right there, like, literally 30 seconds in, just had a 5-minute, 10-minute conversation. I'm not on, right?
Yes, you are, because you didn't say adjourn.
Oh, we
No.
did.
No, you didn't. You said done. That doesn't mean that.